Welcome to Sleepy Classic Tales. The story of Caspar Hauser began in 1828 and remains one of the greatest unresolved mysteries in European history. What follows is our own calm and gently told short version, told in clear, simple language, perfect for falling asleep, and yet filled with questions that have never been answered. Part 1. It is May 26, 1828, a late afternoon in the city of Nuremberg. The streets are busy with everyday life. Merchants close their stalls, people follow familiar routines, and the evening calm slowly settles over the city. In this moment, a young man appears. He is about 16 to 18 years old, unsteady on his feet, pale, with a strange, swaying walk. He wears old, ill-fitting clothes. In his hand he holds a letter, and he speaks almost no words. The boy stands in the main square and tries to communicate with the people around him, but he repeats only 2 sentences. "I want to become a cavalryman, like my father once was." And, "I don't know." His voice sounds childlike, almost like that of a small boy, not like someone nearly grown. People stop. They stare at him in confusion. Who is this boy? Where does he come from? And why is he standing alone in a strange city? The police take the boy to the guardhouse. He barely understands what is said to him. He reacts like a small child, points at objects, startles at loud noises, and cannot grasp the simplest connections. The officers open the letter he is carrying. It claims that the boy was raised since birth by a poor man who could not educate him properly. The letter instructs that the boy should be taken to the 6th Cavalry Regiment and trained as a soldier. Yet the tone of the letter feels strange, artificial, unnaturally polite, almost as if someone were trying to divert attention. It quickly becomes clear that the boy could not have lived a normal life. He cannot write properly, he can barely walk, and he seems to be seeing the world for the very first time. Everything suggests that he spent his entire life locked away and isolated. A Nuremberg physician, Dr. Prue, examines the boy and makes disturbing observations. Caspar can barely stand. He cannot climb stairs. His muscles are extremely weak. His hands are soft, like those of a child. He recognizes no everyday objects. He has almost no memories. He does not know what bread is, and he can speak only a few words. Everything points to long-term confinement, without movement, without language, without light, without people. But where? And why? The authorities begin to speculate. Is he an abused orphan? A kidnapped child? A hidden heir? Or a fraud? None of the explanations fully fit. The authorities place Caspar Hauser in the Lugensland Tower, an old prison building used for special cases. There, they begin to understand how extraordinary his condition truly is. Caspar reacts to every new experience with amazement, fear, or childlike curiosity. He holds a candle and cries when it burns him. He does not understand how water flows from a jug. He recoils from a dog as if he has never seen an animal before. Eating is difficult. He smells every piece of bread, examines it for a long time, and eats only tiny bites. He refuses meat and alcohol completely. Even simple noises overwhelm him. Gradually it becomes clear. Caspar is not unintelligent. He is simply unimaginably inexperienced. After a few days, Caspar is placed in the care of the teacher, Johann Friedrich Daumer. Daumer quickly realizes that Caspar's mind is not weak, but untrained. With patience, he begins to teach him basic words, simple sentences, concepts like I and you, numbers, shapes, colors, and the world beyond the house. Caspar learns quickly. He is attentive, curious, and eager. Each small step forward feels enormous, like the development of a young child. Yet many things remain difficult. He can barely sit or stand for long. Any physical effort exhausts him immediately. His muscles are weak, as if he spent most of his life lying down. His psyche is fragile. He laughs easily, cries easily, startles easily, and struggles to distinguish imagination from reality. Dahmer begins to believe that Caspar was kept alone in a dark room for years, without contact, without movement, without language.
Part 2. As Caspar learns, the people of Nuremberg begin talking about him like a legend. In taverns, stories circulate. Some say he might be the kidnapped son of a noble family, perhaps even a hidden prince, removed to manipulate inheritance. Others believe he is the victim of a terrible crime, erased from the world. A few claim he is an imposter. But anyone who observes his movements, his speech, his innocence, quickly realizes how unlikely deception would be. The city wavers between fascination and suspicion, and as the rumors grow, a dark shadow begins to move in the background. As Caspar gains language, fragments of memory emerge. He recalls a small, dark room where he spent almost his entire life. The room was only a few steps wide. There was straw to sleep on, a jug of water, and a piece of bread. Light was rare. When someone entered, the person was masked or silent. Caspar remembers falling into sleep-like states after drinking water that left him unconscious for long periods. There were no toys, no books, no pictures, only a small wooden horse that he turned in his hands again and again. His memories are childlike and horrifying at the same time. Nothing sounds invented. It feels as if a person is slowly discovering his own past for the first time without fully understanding what was done to him. As his memories grow, so does his new world. Caspar now walks with Dahmer and experiences nature consciously for the first time. He marvels at trees, stops in front of flowers, listens to birds, and tries to imitate their sounds. Sometimes he appears happy, almost joyful, like a child discovering the world late but intensely. But there are difficult moments. People stare, point, whisper his name as if he were an attraction. Caspar senses that he is being talked about, but does not understand why. The mixture of curiosity and observation unsettles him, and he retreats repeatedly to Dahmer's house for safety. One day, in 1829, Caspar is alone at Dahmer's house. Dahmer is out. Caspar goes into the cellar to retrieve something. There, he encounters a man. Who this man was remains unknown. Caspar later reports that the man wore a hood or covering and spoke only a few threatening words. Then, the man strikes him on the head with a sharp object. Caspar collapses, blood running down his face. He manages to stagger upstairs before being found. The news spreads quickly. Someone has tried to kill Caspar Hauser. After the attack, the city is shaken. Was this an attempt to silence him? To prevent memories from surfacing? Caspar is deeply traumatized. He becomes fearful, withdrawn, plagued by nightmares. His trust in the world collapses once again. The authorities reconsider his care, seeking greater protection while continuing to observe him. The more they try to secure him, the clearer it becomes that forces are at work around Caspar that he himself cannot understand. It becomes evident that Dahmer is a teacher, not a guard. A wealthy Nuremberg citizen, Baron von Tucher, steps forward and offers financial support and improved accommodations. Caspar moves into his care. The Baron is polite but distant. He treats Caspar more as a project than as a person, documenting every reaction, mood, and irregularity. Caspar becomes a living experiment. In the new environment, Caspar changes. He grows more self-confident, sometimes defiant. He wants to learn, to belong, but does not understand society's rules.
He is curious and unstable at the same time, emotionally intense, easily overwhelmed. The world now moves faster, louder, and more complex than the dark room he once knew. The Baron grows impatient. Caspar cannot meet his expectations consistently. Another figure enters the story, Lord Philip Henry Stanhope, a wealthy English nobleman. He becomes fascinated with Caspar's case and promises to uncover the truth, even offering to take Caspar to England. Caspar trusts him immediately, almost childishly. Stanhope, however, documents, questions, and manipulates. He raises hopes he never fulfills. Eventually, Stanhope leaves Germany and never returns. Caspar feels abandoned for the first time consciously.
Part 3. Caspar is eventually entrusted to Anselm von Feuerbach in Ansbach, a jurist who understands him better than most. Caspar wants answers, family, truth. But Ansbach is quiet, almost stagnant. Feuerbach soon falls ill and dies, the one man who truly understood Caspar. Once again, Caspar is alone. In the final months of his life, Caspar's behavior becomes erratic. He speaks of secret meetings, whispering strangers and shadows following him. Is it fear, imagination, or a real threat? No one knows. The tension grows and something dark draws closer. On December 14, 1833, Caspar walks through the court garden in Ansbach. He has spoken of being followed. Suddenly a stranger appears dressed in black, hat pulled low. The man speaks briefly and hands Caspar a small pouch. As Caspar opens it to read a note inside, he is stabbed in the abdomen. He does not scream. He staggers back toward his caretaker's house. Caspar arrives bleeding, trembling, barely conscious. Doctors try to save him, but the wound is deep. In his final hours, he speaks incoherently, unsure himself what truly happened. On December 17, 1833, Caspar Hauser dies at around 21 years old. His last words are reported as, "I am so tired, so endlessly tired." Inside the pouch, investigators find a note written in distorted handwriting. Hauser will never reveal anything about his origin. The message remains unexplained. Many believe the attacker came not from outside, but from within his surroundings. Caspar Hauser is buried in Ansbach. His grave reads, "Here lies Caspar Hauser, an enigma of his time, an enigma of our time." Was he a hidden prince, a victim of political intrigue, a neglected foundling, or a gifted impostor? No theory has ever been proven. He remains a symbol of innocence, a warning about how society treats outsiders, and one of history's most haunting cold cases. That was our calm, short version of the story of Caspar Hauser. While listening, you might have wondered whether Caspar Hauser truly existed as described, which facts are considered certain today, and why this case still fascinates us. We explore these questions and many more in our companion book, Golden Pages, Volume 1. The link can be found in the description. Good night, and if you like, we'll listen to each other again tomorrow.